Most men are stuck in the divine child archetype without realizing it. Jung identified the divine child as an archetype that represents potential, innocence, and the promise of future greatness. But when it never matures, it keeps you trapped in boyhood. The divine child energy is that part of you that believes you're destined for something special without actually doing the work to get there. It shows up as the guy who talks endlessly about his big plans, his untapped potential, or how he's going to change the world someday, while his actual life stays exactly the same. This archetype feels good because it lets you maintain the identity of being exceptional without the risk of trying and possibly failing. The divine child in you craves being seen as unique and special, which is why so many men get addicted to the idea of their future self instead of building their present self. When this energy stays immature, you end up waiting for life to recognize your greatness rather than earning it through consistent action and discipline. It also manifests as entitlement, the belief that because you have potential or good intentions, the world owes you success, relationships, or respect. The shadow side is arrested development, where you stay dependent on others to take care of you, make decisions for you, or validate that you're special. Many men unconsciously use this archetype to avoid adult responsibility by staying in the role of the promising young talent who never has to deliver results. The divine child becomes toxic when it convinces you that your unrealized potential is more valuable than someone else's actual accomplishments. Breaking free means recognizing that potential without action is just a story you tell yourself to avoid the discomfort of growth. Maturing this archetype requires killing the fantasy version of yourself that exists only in your head and committing to the messy reality of building something real. The divine child has to die so the adult man can emerge. And that death feels like grief because you're letting go of the infinite possibility to choose one actual path. You know you've integrated this archetype when you stop talking about who you could be and start showing up as who you are, flaws and all. The transition happens when your sense of being special comes from the work you're doing now, not the person you imagine becoming someday. You outgrow the divine child when you realize that real greatness isn't about being destined for something, it's about choosing something and committing to it, despite uncertainty. Most men never make this shift because staying in divine child energy feels safer than risking your potential on something that might not work out.